Well, I fibbed to you. Welcome back. I told you that it was going to be Terry Vause, and the truth is that it's Tracey Vause. And I apologize up front for not getting your name right there.
That's the story of my life. Okay.
But the fact that he is the Beach Safety Division Chief is not a fib, and that's the truth, right?
That's me.
Been a little busy this time of year, haven't you?
We've been busy for the last week or so. It's we've had some activity in the Gulf of Mexico with Tropical Storm Andrea. It's created quite a bit of surf for us over the last few days. So that's warmed us up nicely for the coming summer season.
And it looks like the season's going to be just packed with tourists.
We're seeing increased numbers, which is a good thing.
Yeah, amen.
Compared to the past, recent past. So we're looking forward to that.
And of course, June 2 through 8th is National Beach Safety and Rip Current Awareness Week. And I'm sure you guys have a lot going on about
that. That was last week. Last week was June 2nd through the 8th, and we recognized, and the Board of County Commissioner proclaimed it to be Beach Safety and Rip Current Awareness Week here in Okaloosa County. It's appropriate, being that it's the beginning of the summer season, and that's where we want to reach out to people and make sure everyone understands what they can do to be safe at the beach and what the hazards and perils of being at the beach environment are. So we took the whole week to spend a lot of time in media activity to make sure everyone is aware of exactly what they're dealing with when they're at the beach.
And you and I chatted a little bit off camera that folks think that they're at the beach and it's like every other beach they've ever been to. But the reality is our beaches are a little different, aren't they?
Our beaches are different. And you know, some of the things that make our beaches so beautiful and make them the world's most beautiful beaches also makes them vulnerable to a few specific hazards. Specifically, and probably most importantly for us, are rip currents.
Sure.
Rip currents are extraordinarily important for us to be able to identify and work with here on the Emerald Coast, because our sand, this quartz sugar white powdery sand, is particularly vulnerable. It erodes very easily and can create inshore holes, which is a perfect path for water to flow through as it's returning to sea.
Yep. And
that creates rip currents. Yep. So that's our focus for the last week and continuing into the summer, is understanding rip currents, how to identify them, and how to manage them.
And people may think we're talking about that draw as the wave builds to go back up, but that draw is the same everywhere in the world.
Right.
That's not what the rip current is it?
No, the rip current is a channel of water that's moving back towards sea. So it's moving, as water piles up on shore due to wave activity, it looks for a path of least resistance, which is typically a hole somewhere that's deeper than the sides around it. And as water travels through that path of least resistance, you get a current that goes from the shore back to sea. It's misunderstood in a lot of places as a undertow or something that will pull you under. It won't. It will not pull you under, but it will take you out to sea.
Certainly.
So it's just a current that's moving counter to what you would expect to see.
And with our sandbars the way they are, if the water comes over the first sandbar, there's only one place for it to come back. That's where it really kind of magnifies that.
Absolutely
doesn't it?
Right. And the narrowest channels that exist right from the shore, where water travels back to the sea, that's where you have rip currents. Then those are the necks of rip currents, where the current is going to be the strongest.
And to give folks that haven't experienced it an idea, I'm 6'4", 250. It will move me where it wants me to go.
Absolutely right.
You can't be big enough, you can't be strong enough. It will take you where it wants to go. The best thing you can do is enjoy the ride, because you're going to go where it wants to take you.
Well,
so people show up down here and have this idea that I've been working out, or I'm stronger, or I'm faster, or I'm bigger, and none of those things make you immune to it, do they?
Nothing matters. The best swimmers, the most capable of athletes, are no match for even the puniest of rip currents. A rip current will carry anyone and everyone to sea once they're in the current. And it only takes about waist-high surface area while you're in the water to become vulnerable to a rip current's force. So you really don't have to be in over your head. You can be in waist to chest high water, and you're going to become vulnerable to that rip current. So it's going to take you to sea. And it doesn't matter how good you swim, you're going.
Now they can be identified and predicted, can't they?
There are some typical identifiers, but the characteristics of rip currents are often subtle. So it's even difficult for us to identify them sometimes. But most often they can be identified by a break in the wave pattern, which means you will have a center area of choppy, aggregated water, maybe foam, maybe some sand in that where it's discolored. And on either side or both sides of the current, you'll have nice uniform breaking waves. So wherever you have nice uniform breaking waves and then a center section in between those breaking waves, chances are you're looking at a rip current or a forming rip current.
Now how do people, how do they avoid that problem if they want to go to the beach?
There are a number of ways to avoid a rip current. Most importantly is to always swim where there are lifeguards, especially if you're going to be at the beach and on a surf beach. Swim around lifeguards. Ask lifeguards where the rip currents are, if there are any hazards. Pay attention to the posted signs. On Okaloosa Island and Okaloosa County in general, we post signs that will tell you where a rip current is if we know that one exists there. Yeah. So pay attention to the signs, and also be able to swim. If you're going to swim at a surf beach, you need to know how to swim at a surf beach. Amen. It's not the same as swimming in a pool. So
can people help other people if they're involved?
They can, but we always recommend that you don't go in to make a rescue. The majority of fatal drownings occur as a product of what's called a VEER syndrome, aquatic victim instead of rescuer. And those are people who go in to render aid to someone who is in distress. They end up the victims, and the original person in distress survives.
Survives, yeah.
So yell instructions. Throw them something that floats, a cooler on the beach, a boogie board that's on the beach, anything. Get it in the current, throw that to them, let them grab a hold of it and float. Give them instructions to stay calm. Don't do anything. Wait for help to arrive.
Sure. Are there any additional summer and or beach safety tips you want to leave folks with here?
Well, this year or this next week, we're beginning our junior lifeguard program. So Okaloosa County has a junior lifeguard program every year, and it's available for children ages 9 to 17 years. And we have been doing this for the last 8 years now, so we're on season number 8, and we're really glad to be doing it again. People can sign up for it on active.com. Just search for Okaloosa County Junior Lifeguards, or they can go to our website at okaloosabeachsafety.org and sign up for it that way.
Fantastic. Tracey, I really do appreciate all you're doing to make our beaches safe, because it really is a beautiful place, and it's horrible to have it tarnished by any kind of catastrophe or tragedy. Sure. So thank you very much for all your hard work.
Thanks for having me.
I have one quick announcement to make before we leave. The second Wednesday breakfast will be held July 10th, 7:30 at the Niceville Assembly, located at 108 Highway 85 North. All chamber members and prospective members are welcome to attend. God bless you all, and good night.